Well, here we are at the end of the online stress summits. We had some amazing interviews today, and I really hope that you enjoyed every single one of them. At least we did. I did. Danielle, what do you think?
I just, I'm so excited, Tom. And the first thing I want to do at the end of this day is to thank you because you have been the driving force of the website, of all the technical stuff. I wouldn't be able to do this without you. And I think you know that, but I just want to acknowledge you again, validate your knowledge, your actually your abilities and your kindness to you have put a lot of time and effort in this again, and I just want the audience to know this, and let's just wrap it up now, and let's just see what all the interviews were about, just give a summary, and then maybe you and I can just say a little word at the end for our audience, and I leave the word up to you now.
Okay, so yes, we picked up, or we asked every single expert today what their tip was for the audience. There has been given many tips. Yes, during the interviews, people give many tips, but we picked out at least one from each expert so that we can make a great bit of a summary of the day. Danielle, I think the first one is for you.
Well, I had interview with Mr. Tom Meyers, and
Oh no.
I loved the interview. I think you've explained well, everything about technology, the future. You are an expert indeed, and the phrase that I hear you say often, because I know a little bit better, and it's something that is very dear to you and very important to you. I believe your body is you are someone who really emphasizes every time the body, which we often forget. So your sentence, your tip is, do not forget to take your body on your journey. And let's be honest, it is a journey. So thank you, Tom. You've given an amazing interview. I'm sure a lot of people will appreciate it.
Yes, as an osteopath, of course, I'm looking always with the glasses, or with the idea from how is the body going to deal with it, because it's often it's people think mind over matter, but what about matter over mind? That is the story that I bring or I have brought today and each time into my interviews. Anyway, Danielle, you are an amazing person as well, because together we do things together and it fits together. We come from two different areas, but somewhere we meet each time, and your patience and your calm and your support have also been very, very much appreciated, because together it makes a team, and as a team we are so much stronger. And as a conscious self-care expert, of course, the first questions was what am I contributing into this? But you did, and you were amazing, because it shows how important this topic is, because I've seen you get into this topic more and more and more with more passion, and that is exactly what we want to also to transmit to the audience, from become passionate about it, become really intrigued of this technology, because as with the words of the CEO from Google Belgium, it's something that we need to be looking forward to with hope and not with fear, because fear only leads to illness. Yes. So thank you for your support in this, and you are your best investment. That is indeed, and so much on the line of my own ideas of don't forget to take your body with you, because if not you, who?
Yes. It is your birthright. I always say, people forget that. And sometimes when you talk like that, you are your best investment, because it's your birthright to take conscious care of yourself. people grasp and they say, I've never thought of it like that, that it's your birthright. So yeah, that's my tip for everybody. And let's see who was next. I think,
Carol
can you
Spears.
say a bit about Carol's interview?
Yeah, Carol Spears is chair of the International Stress Management Association and also the founder of the International Stress Awareness Day. Well, she said, value people, connect with each other, and turn off technology when you need to. At the end of the day, we are a society of people, and technology is in support of our evolution, of us, and should always be this support. But it's this interconnection, talking to people, engaging with people. When you're eating at the dinner table, to leave that telephone off. It is important that we get back into engaging more with each other, because it's just so inspiring to have good conversations with people, and to leave technology, to use technology at the right moment, at the right time. And you had Sean Waters.
Yes, I had Sean, and Sean, just I don't want to elaborate on every interview because, but I do want to say that Sean said something quite that triggered me, because he said techno stress is actually all about understanding and awareness. Nobody can help you, he said. You need to help yourself by understanding stress first. Isn't that what we are doing with this summit? I mean, last year we did it, this year we're doing it again. And he brought that up, and I thought, yeah, nobody can help you if you don't help yourself. So that was a big one for me. So that was Sean, and I think Deanne came just after Sean, and Deanne, as a Canadian woman, really gave us a view on family life, how to deal with technology and family life. And she said, develop a culture in your family of having tech-free time to connect with each other, because who you are matters. Now, it's a little bit like Carol, everybody brings it up, how important connection is and how important, the human being is, and that we need to have tech-free time. But she explains it in quite a nice way, and thank you for that. I mean, I really loved her interview.
Yeah, so connect and disconnect. Connect with people, disconnect with technology, and that marriage, needs to be, in a way, you need to put it into your day.
Yes.
To take action to do this.
Yes.
Because often we expect that things comes to us, but sometimes I say, when I'm sitting in a chair and I'm not moving, I'm not taking care of myself, well, nothing is happening. There is action that needs to be taken, and that action that Deanne also said, is to connect and to disconnect. And it's something you have to do, plan. You have to bring it into your life. It's very important to take control of that. I had then Matthias de Wilde, who is an expert on digital addiction or game addiction, and again, screen-free focus time. So create screen-free time moments where there is just no screen in front of you, and no computer, so that you're kind of forced to think in a different way. And it's also very important to relate this with brain development, which Dr. Linda Shaw out. It's because the way that the brain is influenced by looking at a computer screen, and that creates a neurological structure that we need to give the brain more different kinds of information, more. We need to be made playing more. We need to be experiencing more technology, but also other things in nature and in life. So,
Dr. Linda, although her specializing in neuroscience and everything else around it, I found amazing what the last tip, the whole interview is quite authentic because she brought forward how kindness, generosity, and altruism bring your brain into an optimum state. Now, this is something, besides all the stimulation of technology, she brought that up as for her, the kindness, the generosity, and the altruism is a major tip for every single one of us here. To concentrate more on that. I found that a very, very valuable tip for everybody here.
Yes, and then you had the business person, the business expert,
Yes,
Lee.
I had the
Lee.
entrepreneur Lee Johnson. Lee is a locomotive himself. You're gonna, you probably noticed in the interview, he's nervous, he's going, he's like a locomotive, and he's, always on the go. And he's that kind of person. And it was surprising how he said, be patient, accept that the world is changing, and educate people around the reasons for technology and how it can enhance your life. So in every single part of entrepreneurship, I think it is true that we need to accept that the world is changing and educate ourselves, around it. So yeah, it was a different angle, a different interview, but I surely enjoyed it. So I believe you had the an American very important lady afterwards.
After that, I had Heidi Hanna, and Heidi Hanna is the how to call it, the executive director of the American Institute of Stress, author, speaker, and really amazing, vibrant person that brings a story because, also through her own challenges in her life, that she has got interested into the topic, and she's a wonderful speaker. And she talked about the digital diet, so monitoring and being intentional about technology, and to use what feels like the right quantity and quality for what you need individually. And that is something really interesting again, so we need to, everybody is different. Everybody has different needs, has a different makeup, has a different character, can deal with things in a very different way. So everybody needs to stand still with how much can you deal with. But again comes this notion of the digital diet, which is, I think it's a proper word, to explain that, it's something you take to you. Food doesn't come to you. You need to take food into and bring it to your mouth. So also, this is technology is the same way. It's something that we take to us. But also, sometimes when you feel that you have eaten too much, it's also, we know from, hey, I shouldn't eat so much. So we need to put the technology away for some time during our day, just to make sure, that we can digest all of that, because the information that comes up to us is, it's enormous compared to 10 years ago, for example.
I must. Can I just say, because I want to just say to the audience, I love the thing about digital diet if we see it in a positive way, because diet is a word that a lot of people see in a negative way. And if we see it in a positive way as a lifestyle, as a healthy kind of eating technology, like you just explained, then I agree. But if we're going to see it as, oh, I can't do this and I can't and I'm not and I should do that, then it becomes like, so she's a very positive woman, Heidi, and she really has a mission around stress, and I really appreciated her. I think did you have the next one, Christian?
Yeah, Christian Kromer, again, very personal story. And Christian has written the book Humanification. It's a book you can download for free on his website and also on Amazon. And I can really highly recommend everybody to read that book. It's very accessible and also explains a little bit how digital evolution and our biological evolutions run together in the same kind of sequence. Now, and that is something to what he gave as a tip is to, you have these notifications on your phone. So when, pop-ups and, when, oh, you have a message here, and then it's a WhatsApp, Facebook, email, you have SMS messages, he says, switch it all off. These notifications, make sure that you don't get them. So that you come again, the digital diet in this sense is that you take control over when you are going to look.
Yes.
And that is something really, again, so it's about not being controlled by technology, but taking control over it. At the end of the day, technology should be a support for us.
Yes.
And it should not, it should not overtake us. And it's something we need to learn.
Tom, I think it's the right time, because you mentioned here, around Christian's book. I think, people know that they can watch every single interview afterwards, but I would like to emphasize that in every interview you can see the expert's website or book or something special that they want, our audience to go to. So a lot of them have given, really have amazing information to give to all of us. So maybe we can say to our audience, don't hesitate to go back to the interview, look at the websites and see what every expert has to offer. But I think we've got 2 or 3 more to go. So maybe you can do
Baroness Susan Greenfield. Yes. Again, wonderful, amazing person who's written a lot of books about brain development and technology. And also, for example, ID, The Quest for Meaning, and in the 21st century, which is exactly what we need to think about. What's our purpose? What's the meaning? What are we going to do on an individual level? I think, and it's also my own book, Futurize Yourself, Design Your Life on Purpose, about finding your purpose, finding meaning, and then, to really help you better in the future. Because when you're living your purpose, it gives you so much more resilience for all the changes that are happening. But she talked about sequencing. So doing things that have to be done in a certain order to make sense. It's like gardening. Yes, gardening, you have to first clear a terrain, seed, then water it, nurture it, and then you get, for example, a carrot, and then you can harvest that carrot. So that's what she calls by sequencing. Reading a book is a sequence as well. You don't start at the end, you start at the beginning. It gets, you read it in a certain time. And I think also what she also says from physical exercise, which is essential for everyone, and with the kids, again, with somebody who talks about how to deal with children in this technological world, is to really get them playing and being creative. For example, you give them a cardboard box and you start saying okay, let's make something from this. And this creativity, because creativity creates neurons into your brain, it's networks, and that creates for future life, especially children from the age of 0 to 6, you need to stimulate them with a lot of experiences so that they create brain networks that they become more resilient into the future. Absolutely wonderful for her to share some of her thoughts as a neuroscientist, which is, it is founded information. This is research. This is not something from thin air, that we really have or need to take up again a lot of exercise into creativity and get yourself moving. Exercise, very important. And then Graham Codrington from South Africa, Futurize.
As I said in the beginning of this day, Graham Codrington is a real expert, a futurist, and internationally recognized. So what he said really touched me as well. Be deliberate and conscious about switching technology off, because you always have a choice. Now, for me, and we talked about after the interview, I had a little chat with him about his daughters, about my grandchildren, and it's also all about my work and my message. It was amazing how he wanted us all to be conscious. I mean, the conscious part, the awareness, what we're doing with the Stress Summit, what I'm doing with my work of conscious self-care, what you're doing in your work, it's all about consciousness and awareness and making people realize that they have a choice. You always have a choice. Health is a choice. A good relationship is a choice. A certain lifestyle is a choice. So it was quite amazing to talk to him, a man that has been speaking all over the world. And it was a sentence that really touched me. Be deliberate and conscious about switching technology off, because you always have a choice.
Yes. And then Andy During, our director of psychology, who is in the team of developers of the mental health chatbot Tess. She says you have to try, and you have to try different things and find the tools that are right for you. So and be an example. That's also what she says, and be an example for others. There are so many tools out there, but not every tool fits every single person. Yeah, for example, for my personally as well, I'm not really a person that enjoys yoga, so I'm not going to do that. But I love Tai Chi, Qigong. It's something really like, wow, that really livens me up. I had a patient recently as well, and she says, yes, I'm planning to go and go swimming more, to relax, to disconnect from technology. And I asked her, do you actually like swimming? And she says, no. And I said, so why are you choosing swimming? Well, it's because everybody says it's good for me. And I admire that she wants to do something, but I discussed with her, but if you're not motivated to do it because you actually profoundly don't like it, and I'm one of these people, I can swim, but I just don't really like it. It's noisy, there's too many children most of the time, and I just don't like the cold. And she, oh yeah, that's exactly what I don't like about it. They say, okay, but let's discuss something that will fit you. And that is something that we all need to do. It's not what other people say. Just take it, think about it, and make it your own, and say, okay, this is something that I like to explore, but this is not really, in when you know yourself better and become better at knowing the difference between what gives you energy and what takes it away. That is very important. Also, Angie gave us a freebie, and that freebie is a sister of Tess, which is Sarah, which is a mental health chatbot. And for that, you have to go to Facebook and put in Facebook chat with Sarah, and you just go to message and you say hi, and then Sarah will lead you through a few steps, and then you can try it out. Try out the future today. Yes, how a mental health
present for the audience to wrap, to wrap the whole day, up. It's quite a nice present for the audience. But let's not forget that every single expert has either a book, a website where you can find a lot of information. There's a lot of freebies that are, everybody has talked a little bit about their work. So it's worthwhile listening to the interviews again or going back to them, because let's face it, Tom, this is not just a day thing that we're organizing here. This is an ongoing raising awareness kind of thing that we want to do with these interviews. So can you explain a little bit where people can still find the interviews and how we're going to do it?
So all the interviews will be available on the onlinestresssummit.com website. There will also be links, for example, to podcasts. So I've put all of the interviews into a podcast so you can listen to them on the way and you don't necessarily have to watch them. Then they will be available from the 8th of November, so the day, so from tomorrow. And this is also because not all of us have the time to watch all of the interviews.
Yes.
And so I decided that, let's put them into a podcast, because personally I'm a very big podcast fan, and so you can listen to them. But also, please go to the International Stress Management Association Facebook page and Twitter page, where you can find some information. And of course, there is the Online Stress Summit blog that you can find on the website. So all of that.
We both will share them a lot on our social media, and if everybody could just share, even if it's one favorite interview that you especially liked, or that triggered something, for you, or that gave you an insight, please share it on social media, or just the insights. Just share it with your family, and that is our purpose. Tom, that is the purpose that we have by organizing this whole thing, is that, as you said in the beginning, from little 2-year-olds to elderly people of 80, 90 years old can benefit from this kind of interviews and this kind of tips and insights and strategies. So I think we've done, this is the end of the day. I think you and I have done a great job. Thank you again, Tom, for everything you've done. And I'm looking forward to see what effect it will have in the coming days and the coming weeks. And let's see what happens. Do you have anything else to say to the audience? I just want to thank everybody, and really,
and definitely also all the experts. Thank you. At the end of the day, it is about becoming more human. It is about how to navigate these changes that are coming, and and really, if you can see it, it's about technologies there. It's going to take a more important place, but let us as well take a more important place into life. Let's step more into life, because we can, with technology taking over a lot of important stuff, we can take over a little bit more, becoming more into our power, more into our self-actualization, and becoming better at being human. That is the gift that technology can give us. And every single expert has highlighted how important it is to create that human connection again, to take time out,
conscious choices,
and to make conscious choices. So anyway, great day. Please continue watching these videos at your own time over the next couple of days, weeks, months. They stay on the website, and anything you want to contribute, please do so via social media or send us an email. It's also possible.
Thank you. Bye, everybody.
Bye, everyone.
See you next year. Bye-bye.
Bye.